Welcome to Flip My Florida Yard. On today's show, we head to Eustis, Florida. It's here we have the honor of visiting Camp Boggy Creek, where our flip crew attempts to flip a unimpressive, boring, bland, common area into a beautiful Florida-friendly landscape for all to enjoy.
We have so many amenities.
But we don't have a garden, and I think we need one of those.
We bring in a massive crew for our biggest flip yet.
8 hours is pretty tight to pull this together.
We hear why this camp is so important to so many.
It was definitely a place growing up where I looked forward to coming back every time.
We install a water-sipping irrigation system.
Once those plants are established, very little irrigation will be needed in a Florida-friendly landscape.
Then we break down benefits of hiring an arborist.
Certified arborist is the way to go. They have the training, they have the knowledge and the skills to do the work right.
We'll discover plants we think the campers will love.
Now, the cool thing about this is it gets these really nice flowers on it that smell like banana candy.
And then a reveal so big, we had to use a bus.
I'm not often a person of few words, but this is really special.
All this and more on Flip My Florida Yard.
We're knocking on doors.
So excited.
And flipping yards into beautiful Florida-friendly landscapes, and all in 8 hours.
Is this really happening? Who's ready? Organized chaos.
Experts show us how to use Florida-friendly landscaping principles.
Putting the right plant in the right place.
Water efficiently.
Very low maintenance.
Fertilize appropriately.
All leading up to a dramatic reveal.
The best surprise of our whole life.
We're in Eustis, Florida at Camp Boggy Creek, and we're ready to flip a yard. You guys ready to flip a yard? Get our camp counselors. Nick, Kimmy, come on out here, guys.
Hey!
We're ready for an awesome day today.
Welcome to Camp Boggy Creek!
Since opening our gates in 1996, we have served over 90,000 campers.
We have so many amenities. We have a theater, a dining facility. We have our patch, which is our medical facility. Gosh, we've got arts and crafts. We've got a gymnasium.
But we don't have a garden, and I think we need one of those.
That front area, that is our camp operations building that all of our campers pass by while they're here at camp.
Another thing that we're really excited about with this opportunity is what programs that we can implement in this space. Something that's first and foremost accessible to all of our campers, whether they use a wheelchair or walker, because here at Camp Boggy Creek, everyone is included in all of our activities.
The location is an opportunity for our campers to come and to learn and be educated on gardening and landscaping that they can take with them home and that they can use for many years to come.
Kindness is a part of the fabric of our camp, and the kindness of this opportunity for our camp is so abundant, and we are so thankful to have this here at Camp Boggy Creek.
Please flip our Florida yard!
Camp counselors, what do you think? Look at all these people.
Excitement.
This is your flip crew. They are here to help, and we are so thankful for what you guys do and what this camp represents. We got to get to work, but we got to get you out of here. You ready?
We're ready.
All right, let's go. You guys know where you're going, right? Wekiva State Park. You're going to have a great time. You guys get out of here. Enjoy.
All right, see you later, everybody. Thank you.
Camp counselors just left. You know what that means? We have 8 hours to flip this yard. Who's ready? Go, 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 go. Let the flip begin, begin, begin. Okay, let's get a little perspective on what is really a massive, massive flip. This is kind of a focal point, a high traffic area. This flip is so big we had to start yesterday. Look at what we did here. We've got some pavers down here, paver projects throughout this entire flip. Lots of the community coming together to make this flip happen. Right here is kind of this central rock. This was here long before us. We're doing pavers all around this. A full irrigation system going in, as you can see here. They've already started laying some of the pipe. This will all be pavered. A walkway here as well, mixed with some Florida-friendly landscaping. And let's walk over here. This is kind of that nice front entrance to the administrative building. This is all gonna be landscaping on the left and right of this path here. This is gonna be a really nice gathering area. Lots of pavers, lots of plants, lots of mulch. It all has to find its place, and it only has 8 hours to do it. you think?
This is pretty crazy.
Our flip designer is landscape architect Lori Hall from CHW.
Camp Boggy Creek is obviously a really special place, and the counselors are just wonderful people that are doing great things for these kids that wouldn't have these opportunities otherwise. So
Well, let's talk about your design. What are some of the things that they asked for or they wanted to see in this flip?
a few things we talked about. One, they wanted a butterfly garden.
Lori's design calls for a large butterfly garden up front. This area is full of Florida-friendly plants and will greet children and guests as they enter the landscape.
It's kind of utilizing a lot of that native palette as well as some different things to get color and attract birds and butterflies. We've given some more seating opportunities that they could do like planting demonstrations or things with the kids, some usable area.
We're creating a series of outdoor classrooms by installing concrete benches at various locations. These areas will create space for the kids to learn and enjoy nature.
One of the big features we have is right behind you, which is Brock the Rock. And we knew that Brock was a special element for kids. We wanted to incorporate that, and you'll notice we're putting pavers around it so that now we have an accessible walk to the rocks. And so that's been kind of a fun feature to incorporate into the design.
Lori's design calls for encircling the rock with pavers, allowing access for campers in wheelchairs to this camp icon, also known as Brock the Rock.
So these are kids with all different abilities, and so making sure that every kid has the opportunity to interact the same as all the other children.
The installation of 2 large paver patio areas will transform this space into a large open-air classroom where counselors and campers can gather.
Starting with the walk through the woods for the kids to really be able to be in nature, to experience that, to have that healing quality of being in nature, and just to be able to experience it as they're walking through the camp. 8 hours is pretty tight to pull this together. Even with some of the prep work we did, there's a lot of work to get done today.
Jamie, what do you think so far?
I think we're doing an amazing job. The volunteers have been working so hard just helping to get everything moved around. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this landscape looks like when it's all pulled together.
Lake County Extension Agent Jamie Daughtry is here to break down the Florida-friendly landscaping principles featured in today's flip.
The number one Florida-friendly landscape principles for everything and that we are featuring here is right plant, right place. You always want to be a bit of a detective in your landscape. So you want to go out and say, I want to plant a plant. What can I plant? So go out different times of day, different times of year, see how much sunlight or shade does that location get? How much rain does it usually get? How much water does that soil retain? Because that's going to dictate, maybe you need a rain garden, maybe you need an upland garden. And if you put the right plant in the right place after establishment, the amount of maintenance is going to be significantly reduced. Another principle that we're featuring here is watering efficiently. During the Florida summer, frequently you don't need to water your lawn at all.
Right.
But when we're planting something new like this, you want about a 3-month establishment period where you're watering regularly so that those roots can get established. And if it's the right plant in the right place, you get to significantly reduce that later on. So wildlife needs lots of different things. The main things that they are going to want is habitat, food, and water. So in this landscape, we have some nectar plants, we have some host plants for things like butterflies, and we actually have a water fountain because the more aspects of attracting wildlife you have in your landscape, the more variety of wildlife you will attract and the quicker they'll decide to make it a home. The volunteers and crews have been working so hard out here all day. We just really hope that the campers enjoy this and that the counselors love it when they come back.
Camp Boggy Creek takes pride in making sure every camper feels included, so accessibility was a major design feature. To accomplish this, our paver crew started prepping yesterday, clearing and leveling areas for paver installation. So for today, the crew has to install over 3,000 square feet of pavers and 230 feet of concrete benches, all in 8 hours. The good news is we have a 15-person paver crew that's fired up.
Let's talk about the paver that's going in.
So this is our Holland 4x8 Napoli paver. It's a 3-color blend. So you can kind of see the vibrancy that we get there. When you blend it all together, you'll see there's 3 colors. It comes out looking really fresh.
This is going to look really nice throughout the landscape. It's going to match. It's going to fit in. Let's talk about some of the seating benches going in today. Why was that an important part of the design?
Yeah, we wanted to provide some seats for the teachers and the kids to be able to take a break and enjoy nature.
Well, it makes the space that much more functional. You know, they can come out here and have a class and have the kids sit and be comfortable and really just use this space as a teaching tool.
Yeah, they can take advantage of the beautiful Florida weather that we're privileged to and enjoy the space that we've created.
Well, we thank you so much for being out here and being such a great partner to the show.
Thrilled to be a part of it. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Trees play a big role in Florida's ecosystem, so it's important to know how to maintain them.
A certified arborist is the way to go. They have the training, they have the knowledge and the skills to do the work right
Andrew Kozer from the University of Florida Gulf Coast Research and Education Center tells us why it's important to hire an arborist.
So trees are kind of amazing organisms that persist on a time scale that is beyond ours. And when you have a big tree on your property, it's important to do what you can to maintain it. When you see a large oak in your yard, that's the genetic lottery winner where millions of acorns, hundreds of seedlings and saplings, they didn't make it, but that one did for some reason and got to the size that was big enough to persist even when they were building around it. An arborist is someone who cares for trees, and that can be from the moment they're planted to the moment they're eventually removed, and they dedicate their life to the art and science of tree care. There are folks that are in like the tree removal business, and all that really requires is a pickup truck and a chainsaw. But an arborist who cares for living trees and wants to maintain them in the future needs a good understanding of tree biology, as well as the mechanics of cutting pieces out of it and things like that. So there's a lot of physicality to it. There's knowledge. Often arborists will have a higher degree in horticulture. Certified arborists are quite knowledgeable and can help you in a wide range of things for your tree. If your tree has health issues, they can look at maybe the roots of the problem and see if there's issues of compaction of the soil or if there's a need to mulch the area. If you're worried about the safety of your tree, they can prune out structural issues and broken branches, and they can even reduce the canopy size by cutting back some of the smaller branches. If you have an arborist that you work with, it could be someone you work with every few years for the life of your tree. And trees are long-lived organisms that can persist for decades, right? So if you build that relationship, your arborist can help you train the tree through formative pruning to get it the structure that you want, can help maintain it as it ages out and becomes more of a middle-aged tree that is not growing so much anymore. And then as your tree gets older, just like older people, they need more care to keep them safe over your property. And an arborist can help you identify problems in the canopy that might need to be cut out. If you have a big tree on your property, please consider yourself lucky and hire the best certified professional you can to take care of that tree.
There's a lot going on to help our camp run, and so it's just not feasible for us to hand water everything and plants to get them established.
Florida-friendly landscaping principle number 2 is water efficiently. And for most Floridians, the best way to save water is with your irrigation system. Tom Wickman from the Florida Friendly Landscaping Program goes over a few water-saving features from the irrigation system we're installing today.
Starting to come together here a little bit, Tom, getting plants in the ground. Over 1,500 going in today.
It's a big project.
Let's talk a little bit about this irrigation system. Big system, big flip, lots of plants, but how is this system going to be water efficient?
Well, it's really important that we have a system here to help get these plants established. This system will help them get off to a great start, get them established, and then they'll be able to reduce the amount of water going in. This system does involve, water-efficient irrigation heads, these MSMT heads that put out streams of water, a little larger water droplet than the typical spray heads, and that will cause less water evaporation, therefore saving up to 30% of the amount of water applied. We've also got a rain sensor installed, and that's required by law, and that will prevent the system from running if we've had adequate rainfall. And we also have a smart irrigation timer employed as well, and that will allow them to control it better and, again, keep it from running when it shouldn't.
A lot of us have irrigation systems in Florida. What's one thing we can all do to be better efficient with our irrigation system?
Probably the best thing they could do is to make sure that they're not running it on automatic. Unless you're on vacation, run it manually, because that way you can let the landscape tell you when you need to water as opposed to watering on a schedule. Once those plants are established, very little irrigation will be needed in a Florida-friendly landscape.
While we keep pushing to flip this camp, let's check in on Nick and Kimmy at Wekiva Springs State Park.
Today we have Nick and Kimmy coming in to Wekiva Springs to enjoy the spring, canoe, and hike our trails.
First to get our canoe and kayak rentals. Awesome. One of the first things I noticed here at Wekiva Springs State Park is just how peaceful it is.
I love it to swim in the springs, to go on a hike. It's beautiful.
We decided to go kayaking, which was really fun. And after we were done kayaking, we actually then went on a nature walk through one of the boardwalks.
It was so special. We just finished the hike, and out of the path came a beautiful deer, and we were able to pause and see it.
Yeah.
It was really special to see the animals in their natural habitat.
Being here today at Wekiva Springs State Park, it really helps remind me how beautiful the Florida plants are and that it's important for us as Floridians to protect the nature here.
They tend to shade out the area, and the areas tend to be more swampy.
There's probably so much happening back at Camp Boggy Creek right now.
I'm really nervous about the reveal. This is a huge thing for Camp Boggy Creek, and we can't wait to see the finished product.
Hosting this show, I've seen mulch delivered in many ways, in bags, in wheelbarrows, in piles, even shot out of a hose. But this is impressive.
Gosh, look at that. This is the biggest truckload of mulch we've ever had here on the show. All of this mulch is going in this front yard.
When mulching, I have a system that I like to call the donut method. Everybody likes a good donut. So when you're mulching around a plant, you want a donut of mulch around it so that there's an inside hole is around your actual plant. The point of that is so that when you're watering it or irrigating it, the water is retained around the roots so it can actually absorb down.
For this flip, we had volunteers show up from all over Florida to pitch in.
I'm here with one of the many volunteer groups out here, Horses with a Mission. What is it?
We are a horse riding program for special needs.
And why are you here?
We have a lot of volunteers that help our program, and we just want to give back to the community.
Good cause, right? Good camp?
Yes, yes. One of our volunteers actually is going to be camp counselor here next year.
All right, back to work.
On average, we plant over 600 plants on a show.
How's that, good?
That's perfect.
Today, we're planting 1,500, and we couldn't do it without this.
This has become a very versatile tool for us here on the show. Let's talk about this auger.
This is a 6-inch gallon.
Okay.
It's a 7-inch auger. You got a little extra room for backfill, so your plant can just take right off. And then if you need a bigger hole, you can change out augers, but on a job like this where it's just mass 1,600 plants going in, if you do what I call the hula hoop, you drill down and you just kind of give it a little swirl, and you got a bigger hole with a 7-inch auger, and you just keep going.
We wanted to inspire campers to engage their new landscape, so we've chosen plants that are both colorful and safe.
You know, what is the power of plants?
Well, really just getting to interact with the plants can be really therapeutic to just go out and touch them, to smell them. We have different fragrances, different colors of plants, different textures, and it's all just can be really magical for people.
Well, studies after studies have proven just that it's just good for us. It's good for our mind, our body, our spirit, to not only be outside, but just to interact with plants. Let's talk about this one first. What do we have here?
So this one is a Duranta, also known as golden dewdrop.
Okay.
So this is a small to medium-sized shrub. You're looking at about 5 feet tall max. And that yellow color of the leaves is the actual correct color. It's not missing nutrients. So it's a nice one to stick in an area that maybe you want more of a shrub look, less flowers, but it's gonna give you still an interesting color.
Lots of color, especially with that brown mulch. It's really gonna pop. I've seen some of these already in the landscape. Low maintenance?
Low maintenance, drought tolerant once established.
Okay, easy to maintain and a beautiful look. What do we have here?
So this one is banana shrub. So this one is a type of magnolias. Now the cool thing about this is it gets these really nice flowers on it that smell like banana candy.
It is an intense smell.
But the cool thing about this is it's going to attract a different pollinator than most people would think of. It's beetles that pollinate magnolias.
Attract some wildlife.
Definitely attracting some wildlife. Birds are going to love to nest in it.
Banana shrub.
Yes, sir.
Banana shrub. What do we have next here?
So this is our Florida native. It's a wax myrtle. So these do come in male and female plants. And the female plant actually gets a berry that has a wax on it that used to be used to make candles, which is why it's called wax myrtle. It's going to provide food for wildlife, both nectar from the plants and then also from the berries, and it's a really great one for habitat as well. I love these because to me, when they are allowed to grow and get to their max height, they look almost like a miniature live oak to me.
Yeah. Jamie, what would you say to inspire people to start this journey of Florida-friendly landscaping?
Well, contact your extension office and really get some of your questions answered, and go out to local nurseries, see what's available and what you can possibly put in your yard.
Awesome. Let's get these plants in the ground.
All right.
You ever want to give your landscape a pop of color, something that makes people want to stare? Well, you can do that with bedding plants. Bedding plants are nothing more than annuals and perennials that we'll put in small focused areas of the landscape, those high impact areas, maybe near the front door, near the mailbox, or other high visibility areas. And if you can keep those focused into small areas, they won't work you to death and cost a lot. So when you are selecting plants, try and make sure that they're not too large for the container and maybe aren't in full bloom yet, but have lots of nice buds and good growth potential. When you get those plants home, try and get them in the ground quickly so that they don't sit there and degrade while waiting to be planted. To prepare that area to be planted, it's really simple. You need to clean it. Once the bed is cleared out, you want to loosen the soil a little bit and then work in some organic matter, things like peat moss or composted manure. All these products work really well and they'll help hold nutrients and moisture. Next, we want to place our plants out and making sure that they have plenty of room to grow. Then we go ahead and get them out of the containers, put them into the ground, and making sure that they're planted at the right depth. Once they're in the ground, if you choose, you can add a controlled release fertilizer. This will reduce your work and keep the plants healthy and happy. I like to top dress with some mulch afterwards. It gives it that finishing touch. A nice ground pine bark works very well. And then you're going to water it all in and keep it moist while those plants are getting established. I always like to make sure that we're grooming our plants. So I like to deadhead them, removing old blooms. That'll keep new blooms coming on, and just making sure that they look their best. With just a little bit of work, these annuals and perennials will give your landscape that wow factor.
For over 15 years, Boggy Creek has been helping campers diagnosed with serious illness enjoy a safe camping experience. Emily and Alicia are two former campers turned counselors.
Camp has made me into the person who I am today. If it wasn't for camp, I wouldn't have the confidence I have to be able to speak up for myself and advocate for my health conditions. It has really helped me get where I am and continue to push me outside of my comfort zone and do things I never thought I would have been able to.
I was born with a medical condition called spina bifida, so here at camp, I was able to be around kids like me. It was definitely an experience that made me feel like I belonged somewhere, because outside of camp, you're not always around people who are like you, especially with using a wheelchair and using leg braces. Definitely right from the beginning, that was something that impacted me greatly. Definitely a place growing up where I look forward to coming back to and feel there's other kids who are like me. It's the same kind of feeling for all campers who come to camp. A very special place.
A bird feeder and water feature will help bring birds in close for the campers.
We got that. We got going on right there.
We got everything.
Yeah.
Plant identity signs will help campers and guests learn plant names.
You got my signs.
I got your signs right here.
And as usual, we're down to the last few minutes.
This yard is officially split.
The camp counselors are coming back. It looks great, and we're really excited to see their reaction.
For the reveal, we added a few more counselors and campers. Problem was, we didn't have enough glasses for everyone.
Okay, so this is the first. So we have a bus here, and we're gonna move it, and we're gonna do the reveal. We have been working all day here at Boggy Creek to give you guys an incredible Florida-friendly landscape. Are you guys ready to see it?
Yeah! This must be how our campers feel. They are nervous, but they're so excited, and that's exactly how I feel.
All right, when I count to 3, we're gonna move the bus. Ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. Move that bus.
Before, this common area was dull, with little value to the camp. 8 hours later, we transformed this space into a gorgeous Florida-friendly landscape hosting over 1,500 plants, surrounded by over 100 cubic yards of pine bark mulch. We installed seating areas for campers to relax in the outdoors, a new water-efficient irrigation system to establish the new landscape, plant signs to identify plants for the campers, a fountain and bird feeder, along with a butterfly garden that will help attract a variety of wildlife throughout the landscape. And now all campers will have access to say hello to Brock the Rock. This common space is not common anymore. It has the potential to inspire a generation to engage environmental issues affecting our world. And that can all start right here in our landscape.
This is beyond anything that we could have imagined for our campers and their families. They are gonna absolutely love it. I'm not often a person of few words, but this is really special.
I hope that our campers are as blown away as I feel that I am right now. And that's just so exciting to have this experience, to have them come here and just take this in.
What an incredible opportunity it is for us to feature Florida-friendly landscaping in this context. I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm going to let you thank this incredible crew back here. This crew, give it up. Yeah! Okay, you guys want to see it?
Yeah.
You want to walk through the garden?
Yeah, let's go.
Enjoy.
Woohoo! Ooh. Butterfly bush.
gosh, okay. This is like, that they did all of this is unbelievable.
I tried to not expect a lot so I could be blown away, and it's even past that of what I thought. It's just so incredible.
I just want to present you with this Florida-friendly landscape guide. It's got all the information you need on maintaining your landscape. If you have any questions or problems, just give me a call.
Okay, Chad, are you ready to learn a Boggy Creek tradition?
You know what? Let's do it.
Let's do it. Are you ready, Boggy Creekers? Yeah! All right, here we go. Hey, Camp Boggy Creek, how do you feel?
We feel so good. Oh, we feel so good. Oh.
You got it. 1, 2, 3.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Great job.
Boggy Creek.
Thank you for flipping our Florida yard.
That was a big flip with an even bigger impact. My favorite part was watching the community come together to make this a special place for the campers at Camp Boggy Creek. Well, that's our show. We hope you're inspired to help Florida's environment by starting in your own yard. And remember, everybody doing a little, well, that's a whole lot.
Here at Camp Boggy Creek, we really believe in expressing gratitude and kindness. It's something we instill in all of our campers. And so we just want to say a huge thank you to Flip My Florida Yard and for making this happen for our organization and for all of our campers and their families.